Professor Ron here, top of the morning. It's July 1st. I noticed a couple weeks back one of the stocks wasn't moving in the Aqua Blue portfolio. Did a little research and want to share that with you. And I have spotted the largest ever bid-ask spread I've ever seen. And I'll share that with you and remind you on small cap stocks, do not trade those with market orders. But before we get into that, quick disclaimer here. Reminder to everybody, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And with that, let's go look at an international stock that reports poorly. Quick update. Yesterday added the good one and the XLE XLK portfolio. They're both down a little bit today. The market's down. And what I wanted to talk about was one of the holdings in the Aqua Blue portfolio. In here we can see this guy right here. He has not been updating, so he sticks out as completely static. Google Finance here is not getting an update on this stock. It's got it stuck at 1951. And then I did a little research on this. Isetan Mitsukoshi Holdings is a retail outlet chain in Japan. They've been around since 2008. They're publicly traded, and they're mostly department stores working toward improving the lives of their customers with top quality products. We can see that this guy is big enough to be tracked. Schwab has it categorized as a large cap, $9 billion US dollars, 1.5 trillion yen. And if we look at the trend, we can see that it has indeed been trading, and the recent trade price is 41.18 or 25.33. So that price of 19 is not accurate. And the other thing to look at here is, I caught this when the market was closed, but the bid is $10 and the ask is $46,000. This has got to be the biggest bid-ask spread I have ever seen. And a reminder, when you're trading small cap stocks, do not trade market orders. Don't trade small cap stocks after hours too. It gets even worse. If we look at this when trading is open, this is earlier on today, we can see the bid-ask spread is still huge. So this is not one you'd ever want to trade with a market order. And the ask price is very close to what the price is in Japan converted to dollars. And if we look at the history of this thing, this happens to be a trend that's pulled on Schwab, but I think the trends on Fidelity look the same. We can see the last trade, according to this, was April 6th of this year, and I actually bought a little bit of this, 14 shares of this, on June 10th at a price of $22. So we can see this trend is not accurate. The other thing to note, which is probably the more important thing here, beyond the no market orders for small cap stocks, is the international stocks have got a large commission on them. So if we look at this one in particular, because I traded such a small amount, the actual stock price is $25.99, not $22. These, as a short-term investment, just don't make sense. Long-term, this is going to be a wash, but short-term, not good. So what are some of the alternatives? So I asked ChatGPT who are the largest holders, and this TROSX and other mutual funds and ETFs do hold some. Here's a list of them. A better way to buy this is probably with a mutual fund or ETF. Then if we throw all those mutual funds and ETFs onto an efficient frontier, we can see they're mostly grouped down here. The two oddballs are this Wisdom Tree Japan Hedged Equity ETF, and this is buying both equities and it's got a yen currency exposure. The other one is this Vanguard Star one, which is way over here, way more efficient. So these two are the clear winners when looking at ETFs and mutual funds that hold this Japanese company. So TRIG, TRIGX, is probably your best bet to trade some exposure with a mutual fund. Just for grins, I went ahead and pulled some international ETFs. I started with Japan and then went around the world and pulled some more. This is definitely not a complete search, and it's definitely Japanese centric, but we can see, and then this is just the upper part of this line. We can see the winning equities are these 4 and 4 with some overlap. Just for grins, I'm going to make a Japan international portfolio. So the idea just popped up. I created a portfolio with these 6 ETFs and then dropped them into Morningstar, just to get a feel for diversification. And they are sector-wise actually very diversified, covering all the sectors and with percentages similar to the S&P 500 for cyclical, sensitive, and defense. And also note that this is more than 50% Japan. So this is definitely a Japan-centric portfolio. So 50% Japan, 50% the rest of the world. And the returns are actually really good. Just for modeling, we'll use the full return of this 14.6%. And the standard deviation of 10, which is pretty good -2 sigma number. This is going to be an interesting portfolio. You'll see that in the next update. That'll be another one we're tracking in the background. One idea you can do with this is just, let's say you had 100 grand as your total portfolio. You could put 15 grand into this, and this would cover 15% of overall portfolio that ought to be international. An easy piece to do if you want to keep your overall portfolio diversified. Put 15% into these 6 equities and you will do just fine. Conclusions. Just a reminder, to be truly diversified, you need to have 15% international. Also note that published individual international stock data may be inaccurate on U.S. brokerage sites. So we can see that it is truly inaccurate on Schwab today. Also, small individual international stocks are inefficient because they do have some trading costs. The U.S. stocks have all gone to 0 commissions. International stocks, they're still trading with commissions. Then to be more efficient for international, you're probably better off buying a mutual fund or ETF. And I provided some ETF ideas and came up with an ETF portfolio that is the Japan International ETF portfolio. Yeah, and with that, I'll bid everybody top of the morning adieu. Happy July 1st. Bye. And retire another tie. Another fine tie. This is a Nordstrom, which has closed in Anchorage, but purchased many years ago. All right. A fine Nordstrom tie. All right. All silk, handcrafted in America. Nice.